Kenyans win every year. Who won last year? A Kenyan. Year before that, a Kenyan. Year before that, a Kenyan. Every year they win. And I looked up some research. I went on the interweb. And I found out that the Kenyans train by running in the desert in 130-degree heat. Yeah, being chased by lions and tigers and cheetahs and wild dogs of the Kalahari and dingoes that will eat their babies if they stop. So they never stop. And they never lose. 130 degrees. Do you remember 2 years ago when the Boston media came out and said, white people, do not run. It's going to be 96. Much too hot for you fair-skinned people. Especially you, Sully. With those freckles, you'll burst into flames. The Kenyans are outside having a smoke. 96. Wimps, we run at 130. Just once, I'd love to see a nor'easter come in on the day of the marathon. 130-mile-per-hour winds. Hail the size of canned hams. Winds, slush, sleet, blowing those 50-pound Kenyan guys around like the Wizard of Oz. Have some fat guy from Somerville in a thong and a cigar and a six-pack. I'm gonna win! I'm gonna win!
You know something, around the Worcester area, there is no better-known funny man than this guy who's coming in to join me, and he's got a big event going on tomorrow night, Saturday night, at the Palladium. It's Lenny Clarke. Good morning, Lenny.
Hey, Bruce. How are you today, pal?
I'm doing great, but I've been getting the creeps the last few days. I've been coming to work. Just as I pass College Square, I look up, and there you are staring at me from a billboard.
Oh, my God. That is kind of creepy. Yeah, that would scare most people. But I tell you what, I bet you the only thing my face is better to look at than the snow. That's the only thing.
You know, I'll give you that. And we're going to see your face, you and a whole bunch of your friends.
Oh, my God,
funny guys, this Saturday night, tomorrow night. Tell me, who's coming in to the Comedy Fest at the
Tony
Palladium?
V, Don Gavin, Jimmy Dunn from a show on CBS called The McCarthys, Frank Foley.
Frank who? What's the guy's name?
Jimmy Dunn is the guy's name from the show The McCarthys on CBS.
No, I mean that other guy you mentioned. Frank who?
Frank. Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. You know who else? A bunch of great comedians. You're just going to it will be a fabulous time, and I hope you can come by.
Well, you know, how can I miss a show like this? It's right in the heart of the city. Over at the Palladium, there is just no better classic venue in the city than going to see something at the Palladium. And you know what? You have some of the best comedy writers coming together to put on a show the likes of which we may never have seen here in Worcester.
Well, you know what? I got to tell you, that Larry Smith from Halligan's, I started working with him a couple of years ago, and he's just such a classy guy. And he really loves Worcester, and I love going to Worcester. I mean, I've had so many good times up there, and I did the Palladium last year. It was a sellout success, and with your help, fortunately, I think we'll sell it out again. And it's a great time for people to get out of the house who've been trapped by this global warming. Are you kidding me? I mean, I can't believe this stuff. Oh, it's global warming. It's global. Look around. We're freezing our ass off. We haven't seen the sun, for God's sake. I want global warming. I want it to be 110 degrees. I want to see elderly people bursting into flames. Let them die with dignity, for Christ's sake.
Is this why they recently changed it to climate change, because it fits a little better?
Yeah, right. Yeah, you don't hear global warming anymore. We haven't had a warm day in years. Oh my God. Yeah, now it's climate chaos. Before it was climate change. Now it's climate chaos. They change the name every week.
Is it true that you escaped to the vineyard the other day because you were sick of snow?
Yeah, I did. Well, you see, I live on the vineyard, but I winter in Somerville. And people don't understand that. Neither do I, but it makes my wife happy. And we had so much snow in Somerville, then there was no place to put it. I just looked at it. I said, I'm going home. You can come with me or you can stay here. And I went to the vineyard, and then we got hit with a small storm. I mean, there have been big storms down here. Matter of fact, I tried to get through a 6-foot snowdrift. And even though I had four-wheel drive, I did not make it. I also think I threw out the suspension of my car. But I had to call a buddy of mine with a backhoe to come and drag me out.
Hey, well, car suspension, that's my specialty. I'll crawl under there with you. But
great.
After all of this, try to remind me why it is you love Worcester again.
Let me see. What's the Coney Island? That was a good place to go get a dog and a beer. I used to go there during the great wino gang wars of the early 80s. And then... I think the best part of Worcester has got to be, without a doubt, its people. Because those poor bastards. You have tornadoes, I think you've even had a tsunami in Worcester. I don't know how that works, but you've got the worst weather in the world, and you get screwed every single time.
Yeah, but there's more to it than that. Not only does it happen, we're proud of it.
Hey, now listen. Is there a river that runs near Worcester? A river or a...
It is a river of broken dreams.
A river of well, that's where they should throw that snow.
Oh, stop it! You're talking about the Blackstone, the mighty Blackstone that takes all of our flotsam and sends it down to Providence.
Well, you know what? Throw your snow in there. Throw your snow in the Blackstone and let Providence.
No, the global warming folks will get all upset about that, Lenny.
Well, listen, what are they worried about? Sand and salt? What the hell do you think is in the river anyway, sand and salt? And let me ask you this. When that stuff melts, where the hell do you think it goes? In the drain, out to the river.
That's a very good point. I never thought about that.
Well, they don't want to think about that because they're like the dirty people at Whole Foods selling you $80 pint of blueberries untouched by human hands. Oh, I tell you what, I've seen their filthy hands. They better not touch those expensive blueberries because I won't go back.
That's how they get blackberries. All right. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to join us. Lenny, I can't wait for the show. I mean, here it is, almost here, tomorrow night, Palladium. What time does the show take the stage?
Doors open at 7. I take the stage at 8. I will be hosting.
All right.
I will be on and off that stage all night. But I got to tell you, I'm looking forward to it. I'm wound up, and I can't wait to get to Worcester.
Excellent. Well, it's going to be a great show. Can't wait to see you in town. Tickets still available at the box office, I'm sure.
Bruce, thanks so much for all your help, pal. Hope I see you Saturday night.
Have a great weekend in the meantime. Thanks so much, Lenny.
Thanks, Bruce. Bye, pal.
Worcester's classic hits, 100 FM, The Pike.